Hello, ladies. Welcome back to the Women Tour Academy. I'm Stacia, and we help women build better lives with the tools that they already possess. And yes, we are still in our 5 top journaling prompts for a more impactful journaling session. And this is number 2. So remember, I've done 2 previous videos where I discuss I think in the first video, I just did the top 5 and why. And then the second one, I think it was just to break down, why I chose those particular ones. And then these final 5 will be to break down individually why these were selected. So here we go. So number 2 in journaling prompts that aid in a more productive, impactful journaling session is relationships, right? And these are relationships that we have with ourselves, people, places, and things, right? And the reason why we want to discuss relationships at some point in her journaling process is because everything around us is somehow connected to us, right? And if we are working on the relationship that we have with ourselves, the way that we talk to ourselves, our inner dialogue, the peace that we're seeking out, right? That has an immediate effect, right? So we output that information, right, from our being. And so we began to seek out relationships that begin to reflect that. See, once you recognize that the part you play has a direct reflection in others, right? We know this as universal law, the law of sowing and reaping, karmic law. We know this as, what you do onto others will, come back to you. It's a boomerang effect, right? And so when we begin to dissect the relationships that we have and our relation to them, then we get to see and dissect who we are in connection to that thing. Are we taking on precepts that do not belong to us? Are we living out fantasies and realities that are not true to us? We begin to ask those questions because we begin to want to know what is the driving force, right? With our relation to people, with our relation to places, with our relation to things. We begin to want to know that, right? Because that has a direct correlation to the habits we begin to take on, right? And so if we're checking ourselves, then no doubtedly we be checking those around us. And so working on those relationships with ourselves, writing those things down, getting it out, deciding who we want to be in relation to the world, right? Those are very pertinent aspects of the self that we can begin to define, right? And so when we're journaling, ladies, don't forget to put date and time, right? Some people like to journal during the day. Some people like to journal at night as kind of like a release of what the day was, i.e. Moesha style. And so whichever you choose, you're going to make sure that you're putting date and time, because remember, these will become reference points to what we felt, when we felt, you know what I'm saying? So then we can begin to see in relation to said person, place, or thing, how we're responding, how we're reacting. And if we decide that we don't want to respond or react in that way anymore, then we can pinpoint what's happening to us, the physiological thing that is happening to us in relation to those people, places, and things. And so that's just a little something for you to work on if you're finding it difficult to journal or stay consistent or connected to your journaling process. And so stay tuned for the next 3. And once again, until we meet again, please, ladies, remember, it is not enough to just be pretty. You must be pretty on purpose. And until we meet again, peace. Bye.